Yo. Oh. Yo. 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 Yo.
Shut, Nick.
Hey fam, that's Tayo. This is Color Mind. So, yo. So today Tayo is gonna tell you about yo because yo, this shit goes, bro. Yeah. Today we're gonna be asking ourselves some questions about identity, language, and landmarks. But first, please do me a favor and like this video if you like black men and you want to see a young, sexy thickums succeed at YouTube. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that we can do this again next week and you can be a part of the coloring box. Yes, I did in fact make my own fan club name because I'm a narcissist and I like control. With that out of the way, I want to answer 4 questions. 1, where did yo come from? 2, when did yo become what we know it as today? 3, who can say yo and where? 4, and most importantly, what does yo mean? You're going to want to stick around to the end for this. Okay, so first, where did yo come from? Well, it's complicated. You see, yo is weird, and you may well wonder why. Well, because exclamations. You see, yo is less a word, more a wail, and well, we'd be stupid to try to pinpoint the origin of any word like whoa, ouch, or aw. See? What I mean is, the term yo, as defined by Merriam-Webster, is defined as such, used especially to call attention, to indicate attentiveness, or to express affirmation. In other words, it's a scream that we just spelled out. But then again, I assume most words are. Basically, long story short, there are some disagreements. There are disagreements about where exactly yo first came from, but Webster has it appearing in Middle English, where it was written as eo, which kind of, to me, symbolizes or sort of reinforces the fact that this word was just a simple yelp. It was just really used just to say yo. The now more universal yo, as we know it, finds its roots in the crowded apartments of Philly's Italian-American population in the 20th century. This then spread to the newly arrived Black American and Black immigrants flooding into the city in the 70s and 80s. And from there, as they say, the rest is UMT raps. But even that yo of the 90s is different than the yo that we think of now. Mostly because, like, white people say it, unironically. And that's a pretty big cultural shift when you think about it. Now, I'm from Baltimore, so I'll call anything a yo. I've even been known to call a seatbelt a yo. But that's because anything can be a yo, and that's how I learned it. But for your typical Chad or Karen on the other side of the red line, yo wasn't really in their vocabulary until recently. In fact, I remember oddly that saying yo was extremely taboo in the early 2000s. Like, it's a very deep cut, but it was usually done at some weird punchline, because in the B plot of every fucking ABC Family show, the littlest kid would like discover hip hop for the first time, and then walk into dinner one day like wearing like a bandana and saying, "Yo, what's up, Pops?" And Pops would literally just like explode, and that was supposed to be funny, and then roll the credits. Executive produced by Dan Schneider. So, what ended up causing the shift? Well, I think it's time that we talk about Ebonics. I actually remember when someone first told me about Ebonics, my 5th grade teacher, and I said, can we run it back one time? Can we take another chance? Because that sounds amazing. It sounds like a blast. It sounds like in middle school when your Latina friend Emily Ortega had to take Spanish and you low-key had a crush on her, but then you were too afraid to ask her out, so instead you just kissed her on the shoulder to her 8th grade graduation, never spoke to her again. But she was always asleep in class and still got 98s on fucking everything. Important distinctions. Language is the word you have, while dialect is how you say them. African American Vernacular English, or AAV, or as it was originally coined by Dr. Robin Williams in 1973, Ebonics, literally translates into black speech. Ebony phonics. Ebonics and AAVE are both trying to do the same thing. They're trying to contextualize and identify the particular and distinct ways in which Black Americans tend to talk to one another. It is important to understand that Ebonics is not a language, it is a dialect. We are not inventing language, we are simply repurposing it. My favorite example always is that Ebonics figured out a way to make the imperfect tense work for them better. English doesn't have really an imperfect tense, and if you're not an English major, imperfect tense is sort of like saying that somebody habitually does something. Somebody is usually doing something. For us, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, but it's like someone was doing something, or you have to add a helping verb where it's were doing or was finishing or something like that. But yo can just say, Darren don't be going to school like that, but yo be going to school. And that makes sense. What we've established is that Darren does not go to school usually, but yo does. He has not only gone to school today like a good child, but he has done so over a long period of time. And there's not an easier way to say that in English. So we made our own way. He be going. He be wildin'. They stay wildin', yo. So Ebonics. Dialect, not language. Why is that so important? Well, that's a very good question to ask. I need to be better at English. So, got it. Ebonics, dialect, not language. Why is that so important? I'm glad you asked. It's very important because a lot of the backlash behind, I don't know if you guys remember this, or remember learning about this anyway, the Ebonics experiment in Oakland, California public school system was due to a fundamental misunderstanding about what was trying to be taught. Parents were afraid that teachers were being asked to teach in Ebonics or teach Ebonics itself, rather than an attempt to respect the dominant dialect of the student population. Because the reason why Oakland wanted to do Ebonics is because they realized the majority of their student population spoke this different style of English that was making it hard for them to keep up reading comprehension levels. So trying to teach them the normal way was difficult because you were almost trying to teach them not necessarily a new language, but you were teaching them a different way to use the words that they were already used to using, and you were just saying, no, this is the right way to use it, don't use that anymore. It's a terrible way to try to teach people how to read. This method of studying language is actually known as contrastive analysis, and it involves drawing students' attention to similarities and differences between Ebonics and Standard English. But wait! Why were they so scared of their children talking black anyway? And more importantly, I guess, why are they also okay with it now? To me, there's a great study of the power of words and how they're powerful wield words. Because just like black women hairstyles and the vocabulary of queer and trans people, pop culture, in which I mean whiteness, has appropriated the values and customs of oppressed classes without any additional equity being given to said classes. What was once ghetto is now streetwear. What was once ratchet, now profitable. And so they take. It weirds me out, or it seems a lot more obvious to me, because I've had actual sit-down conversations with my father where he told me when I should and shouldn't be saying yo. Truthfully, he thought I should never be saying yo, and anytime I accidentally said yo to him, he'd have a whole big fit. But he's told me if I gotta say it, the only place that you should not be saying it is your supervisor, if you went to a job, your teacher, and especially not a cop. I shit you not. An email that I got from work last week, literally from my manager, white manager, said, yo, can you resend those confirmations, please? Best. Daniel, not Dan. Don't you ever call me Dan, boy. The fact that white people say yo more freely may not be a big deal to you, but it's important because it's evidence. Evidence, again, of how black expression and creativity move the culture, create ideas, and therefore move the world, right down to each and every syllable. But since whiteness is the dominant culture, it has the right to make or break language. As in, it decides which words have certain social ramifications. So saying yo used to be an indicator of being black or being from an urban area, and therefore came with all the labels of that particular stereotype. But then all of a sudden, then appropriation happened, and whiteness decided, you know what, no, that word doesn't mean that anymore, it now means this. That's it. Notice I only said the word has become elevated. The people that made the word, the people that spoke the word, have not. And hegemony is all of us just being okay with it. Just letting that shit happen, man. All the fucking time. In the end, I'm not sure if yo being used by more people is a good or a bad thing for black culture. Like most things, I imagine it's a bit of both. But I argue that thinking about these things and thinking about these concepts and how racism and discrimination seep into our understanding and sometimes normalization of them is important and is work that we have to do. So what does yo mean? Well, to me, yo is a landmark. In every definition, no matter how you use it, when you think about it, its purpose is to bring attention to something, like a landmark does. Yo says, I am here. Pay attention. I have something to tell you. And for a lot of us in this country, we need to start listening. That's the thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this. My name's Tayo. This is Color Mind. I really enjoyed making this. Hit the thumbs up if you learned something, and hit the bell in case you want to do this again sometime. How's Friday? Great. Okay, I gotta go.